Thank you for joining for today's Bhakti Vaibhav class. So in the previous class, we were discussing from chapter 1, canto 4, where we were discussing about the descendants of the three daughters of Swayambhu Manu. So in the previous class, we discussed about the descendants of Akuti, and last week we discussed about the descendants of Devahuti. So here is the summary of the entire descendants of Devahuti. Devahuti marrying Kardama begot 9 daughters and 1 son. So 9 daughters are shown here, and they are married to 9 Manasaputras of Brahma. Kala married to Marichi, Anasuya married Atri, Shraddha married Angira, Havirbhu married Pulasya, Gati married Pulaha, Kriya married Kratu, Urja married Vashishta, Chitti married Atharva, Khyati married Bhrugu. And in turn, they gave birth to many children. Marichi gave birth to of course, Kala gave birth to Kashyapa and Purnima. Anasuya gave birth to Dattatreya, Soma, Durvasa, representatives of Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva. And Shraddha gave birth to 4 daughters and 2 sons. Havirbhu gave birth to Agastya and Vishrava. Gati gave birth to 3 sons. Kriya gave birth to 60,000 Valakilya sages. Urja gave birth to 7 sages, 7 great sages. Chitti gave birth to Tadyancha. Khyati gave birth to Data, Vidata, and Sri. So like that. So at the end, Maitreya concludes saying that anyone who hears the descriptions of this dynasty with faith will be relieved from all sinful reactions. Shrunvata Shraddha Danasya Sadhya Papa Hara Para. So because the Supreme Lord himself appeared and all the great sages appear in this lineage, hearing about them purifies one's heart. So like that. So thus, the descendants of Akuti and Devahuti are completed. Now the remaining chapter talks about the descendants of Prasuti. Tasyam Sadarja Duhitra Shodashamalalochana Trayodashada Dharmaya Tataikam Agnaye Vibhu.
Daksha begot 16 very beautiful daughters with lotus-like eyes in his wife Prasuti. Of these 16 daughters, 13 were given in marriage to Dharma, and 1 daughter was given to Agni.
Yeah. So Daksha begot 16 daughters. 13 were given in marriage to Dharma, 1 given to Agni, and the remaining 2 will be mentioned in the next verse. Pitrubhya ekam yuktebhyo bhavayekam bhavachide Shraddha Maitri Daya Shanti Tushita Pushti Kriyonnati Buddhir Medat Tiksha Hrir Murti Dharmasya Patnaya Shraddha Suta Shubham Maitri Prasadam Abhayam Daya. Yeah, please. Okay. I think other 2 traverses also together, 51, 52 also. Shanti Sukam Mudam Tushti Smayam Pushtir Asuyata Yogam Kriyonnatir Darpam Artam Buddhir Asuyata Meda Smritin Titikshatu Kshemam Hrir Prashrayam Sutam Murti Sarvagune Petair Naranarayana Urushi.
One of the remaining 2 daughters was given in charity to the Pitruloka, where she resides very amicably, and the other was given to Lord Shiva, who is the deliverer of sinful persons from material entanglement. The names of the 13 daughters of Daksha who were given to Dharma are Shraddha, Maitri, Daya, Shanti, Tushti, Pushti, Kriya, Unnati, Buddhi, Medha, Titiksha, Ri, and Murti. These 13 daughters produced the following sons. Shraddha gave birth to Shubha, Maitri produced Prasada, Daya gave birth to Abhaya, Shanti gave birth to Sukha, Tushti gave birth to Muda, Pushti gave birth to Samya, Kriya gave birth to Yoga, Unnati gave birth to Darpa, Buddhi gave birth to Artha, Medha gave birth to Smriti, Titiksha gave birth to Kshema, and Re gave birth to Prashreya. Murti, a reservoir of all respectable qualities, gave birth to Sri Naranarayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So it says that Pitrubhya Ekam Yuktebhyo Bhavayekam Bhavachide. So in the previous verse, it is said that out of 16, 13 were given to Dharma. Trayo Dashad Dharmaya. Tata Ekam Agnaye Vibhu. So one given to Agni, out of 16, 13 to Dharma and 3 remaining are there. So one was given to Agni and one more was given to Pitrus and one was given to Lord Shiva. So he gave one daughter to Pitrus combined and then the last daughter to Lord Shiva, who destroyed the material existence. Bhavaya Ekam, Bhavaya Ekam Bhavachide. The Lord Shiva is glorified as Bhavachide, the destroyer of the material existence. And now the names and their children of all these 16 daughters of Daksha are mentioned. The names of the 13 daughters of Daksha who were given to Dharma in marriage are Shraddha, Maitri, Daya, Shanti, Tushti, Pushti, Kriya, Unnati, Buddhi, Medha, Titiksha, Hari, and Murti. Kindly see the names. Whatever we understand by seeing the names, some important Vaishnava qualities, these daughters of Daksha are actually the presiding deities of those qualities. In the previous cantos, we discussed always that every senses have the presiding devatas. We have 14 senses, all the 14 senses have 14 devatas who will be supervising the activities of all those senses. Like mind has moon god, intelligence has Brahma, Ahankara has Shiva, and Chetana has Vishnu, like that. Same way, all these qualities also have presiding deities. They were the daughters of Daksha. Shraddha, faith, Maitri, friendship, Daya, compassion, Shanti, peacefulness, Tushti, nourishment, Pushti, of course, Tushti, Pushti both are like nourishment only. And Kriya, activity, Unnati, bringing a growth, Buddhi, intelligence, Medha, Medha is also kind of intelligence only, Titiksha, tolerance, Hri, modesty, and Murti, the personified form of all the good qualities. So whom they gave birth to? Shraddha gave birth to Shubha. So the understanding is that when a person consisting of these wonderful qualities, if that person follows dharma properly, and with this quality following dharma leads to the birth of another good quality. So when somebody has faith on the varnashrama dharma and practices dharma, then gives birth to Shubha. So those people with faith follows varnashrama dharma, there will be auspiciousness in their life. And Maitri produced Prasada. Maitri means friendly nature. If with friendly disposition, if one follows the principles of Dharma, their life will be full of satisfaction. Here Prasada means satisfaction. And Daya gave birth to Abhaya. So with compassion, with kindly disposition, one follows Dharma, they will give that following will give birth to Abhaya, fearlessness. And then Shanti gave birth to Shuka. If one practices Varnashrama Dharma with peaceful mentality, that will bring happiness. Peaceful mentality means without much material hankerings. Because material hankering is the cause of dukkha. So without material hankerings, if one practices Varnashrama Dharma with peaceful attitude, peaceful mentality, they will remain happy with whatever they have. Santushta Enakenava, something like that. And Tushti gave birth to Muda. Tushti is kind of satisfaction. So when we eat food, we are satisfied, something like that. So Muda is also kind of satisfaction, happiness. Like all the devatas becomes completely satisfied when they have darshan of the Supreme Lord. In that case, the Muda word is being used, something like that. So when we practice the Varnashrama Dharma with proper satisfaction within the heart, we experience more and more satisfaction by that practice, because one becomes happy by practicing dharma, because one practices varnashram dharma as a matter of duty. So just by executing those duties, everyone becomes happy. So in that way, for example, when parents takes care of their children very nicely, they become satisfied. When the children are doing good in their education, when the children are getting settled, when the children are getting married and getting children, the parents becomes happy, something like that. Pushti gave birth to Smaya. Pushti means nourishment. Nourishment gives birth to Smaya. So what is the meaning of Smaya? Is Smaya only written? So Pushti means nourishment. Gave birth to Smaya, also kind of kind of satisfaction or something like that. Exactly, I don't remember here. No explanation is there. And then Kriya gave birth to yoga. So Kriya means executing one's varnashrama duties with full dedication, with full surrender. That will give birth to yoga means desire to develop connection with the Supreme Lord, something like that. Unnati gave birth to dharpa. So if a person with a desire to grow further in one's life and they execute dharma, that will give rise to dharpa. Here dharpa is not the materialistic pride, it is a kind of uh, pride that okay, I have executed my dharma, I am not at fault. So that kind of what you can say, we can say courage, or we can say it is like okay, one has done one's duties and not worried about at all, something like that. Not arrogance, but confidence, something like that. Buddhi gave birth to Artha. If a person practices Varnashrama Dharma with sufficient, with proper intelligence, that will lead to the reception of expected results without any deficiency. So in that way. And Meda gave birth to Smruti. Buddhi is intelligence, Meda can be taken as knowledge. If one practices Varnashrama Dharma with proper understanding and proper knowledge, that will give rise to Smruti, proper remembrance. Titiksha gave birth to Kshema. If one executes Varnashrama duties with tolerance, that will give birth to Kshema, auspiciousness in one's life. In spite of going through so many difficulties, still one engages in Varnashrama duties, obviously the Kshema will come. And Hri, modesty, gave birth to Prashraya. Prashraya Vanato. With modesty, one performs one's duties. Prashraya means it is also kind of satisfaction, one kind of satisfaction that is also obtained. Murti was the source of the Lord, who is the ocean of all auspicious qualities, Sri Narayana. So Murti, the 13th wife, 13th daughter of Daksha, she is the 13th wife of Dharma. So Murti is personified form of all good qualities. A person possessing all wonderful qualities, when they take shelter of Dharma, then there will be the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Narayana Rishi. That means attraction to serve the Lord will take birth there. So that is understanding. So by the original meaning of the words, the daughters starting with Shraddha are the preserved deities of various Shaktis of Sattva-guna. These daughters had corresponding qualities. Smaya means enthusiastic, enthusiastic to perform acts of dharma. So where was Smaya? Smaya is here. Pushti gave birth to Smaya. That means with nourishment, those people who execute Varnashrama duties, they will get newer and newer enthusiasm to perform more and more duties. Something like that. Darpa means expert in austerity and yoga. So Darpa indicates they become expert. Those who perform Varnashrama duties with an intention to grow further and further, they become expert to perform austerities and yoga, etc. Another Smaya, that Smaya is arrogance. Another Darpa, that is pride, produced generations of sinful people. Later on, we will see in the 8th chapter, where before the Dhruva Maharaj past time. So in these are the present deities of the qualities of Sattva-guna, or in religious context, dharmic good qualities. But in the 8th chapter, we read about the presiding deities of adharmic bad qualities. So there also Smaya and Darpa are there. There Smaya means arrogance, Darpa means pride, and they produce generations of sinful people, those who take shelter of them, something like that. Sarva Gunopeta Murti Sarva Gunopeter Naranarayana Urushi. Sarva Gunopeta means that she was the source of the Lord, who is endowed with all auspicious qualities. Murti, a form of Shuddha Sattva, should be understood to be the Shakti who manifests the Lord. So Murti means Shuddha Sattva form. So when we become the personified form of Shuddha Sattva, matlab pure goodness, without the contamination of passion and ignorance, that is the place where Lord takes birth in the consciousness of that person. So that means when our consciousness is purified of all the contamination of Rajoguna, Tamaguna, when it is only pure goodness, then the Lord will take birth. That was the indication of Murti. So that's how all these wonderful qualities are representing the presiding deities of the respective qualities. And if we follow them and by taking shelter of those qualities, execute Varnashram Dharmas, that will lead to another set of auspicious qualities. So it's like that. Yayorjanmani ado vishwam abhyananda sunirvritam manamshi kukubo vata prasedu saritodraya. Hare Krishna, someone can read the translation.
On the occasion of the appearance of Naranarayana, the entire world was full of joy. Everyone's mind became tranquil, and thus in all directions the air, the rivers, and the mountains became pleasant.
Yeah, at the appearance of Lord Narayana Rishi, the entire world became filled with joy. Everyone's minds and all directions, the air, the river, the mountains, everything became completely pleased because Lord is appearing. Who will not be pleased? So in that way. Divi Divi avadyanta turyani petu kusuma vrushtaya munaya tushta jagur gandharva kinnara नित्यन्ति स्म श्रियो देवा आसीत् परममङ्गलम् देवा ब्रह्मादया सर्वे उपस्तस्तुरभिष्टवै.
Hare
In the
Krishna.
heaven,
The,
yeah,
in the heavenly
Madhuri, go
planets,
ahead. Yeah.
the heavenly planets, bands began to play and they showered the flowers from the sky. The pacified sages chanted Vedic prayers. The denizens of the heaven, known as the Gandharvas and Kinnaras, sang. The beautiful damsels of the heavenly planets danced, and in this way, at the time of the appearance of Naranarayana, all the signs of good fortune were visible. Just at that time, great demigods like Brahma also offered their respectful prayers. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So by the birth of the Supreme Lord, everything in the material nature and all the personalities in the upper planet systems, everyone becomes happy, and they express their happiness by doing different things. Like in the heavenly planet, there is tumultuous sounds. Flowers fell from the sky. Gandharvas and Apsaras were singing and dancing. The satisfied sages chanted prayers. The Gandharvas and Kinnaras sang, and the beautiful damsels of the heavenly planet that like Apsaras danced. All signs of good fortune were visible all over. Just at that time, great devatas like Brahma and Shiva, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, they all worshipped the Lord with wonderful prayers. So all these devatas headed by Brahma, Shiva and all, they offer some prayers in the glorification of the Supreme Lord at his appearance. Deva Uchu Yo Mayaya Virachitam Nijayatmanidam Kerupa Bedamiva Tat Pratichakshanaya Etena Dharma Sadane Rishimurti Nadya Pradushrakara Purushaya Namah Parasmai.
The demigod said, "Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the transcendental personality of Godhead, who created as his external energy this cosmic manifestation, which is situated in him as the air and clouds are situated in space, and who has now appeared in the form of a Naranarayana Rishi in the house of Dharma."
So some simple prayers, only 2 verses, just to indicate the position of the Lord, indicate the connection of the Lord with this material universe, something like that. They just pray. Yo Maya Virachitam Nijamaya Nijayatma Needam Ke Rupa Beda Mivatat Pratyakshanaya Etena Dharma Sadane Rishimurti Nadya Pradus Chakara Purushaya Nama Parasmai. They say that we offer our respects to the Supreme Lord, who has now appeared in the house of Dharma in the form of a sage. Rushi Murtina Adya. Adya means today he appeared in the form of a Rushi, Narnarayan Rushi. To show the universe belongs to him. So why did he appear? In that this universe is mine. It is my own creation, and I will take care of this universe as long as it exists. So because it is created by his energy and is situated within him like a cloud in the sky. Just like the clouds are situated in the sky, the universe is situated within him. We saw that past time. I mean, in the sense we hear about it. Vatapatrashai past time, wherein Markandeya Rishi in the flood going here and there, he saw a banyan tree. Underneath that banyan tree, a small boy was there. He went near to that small boy. That small boy opened his mouth. Markandeya Rishi entered into the mouth of the small boy, then entered into the abdomen. There he saw the entire universe. Like Mother Yashoda saw the entire universe within the abdomen of Krishna when Krishna opened his mouth. So something like that. Just like clouds are situated in the sky, the entire universe is situated in the Supreme Lord. But he comes into the universe in order to make it sure that okay, this universe belongs to him only. Something like that. So we offer respect to the Lord who has appeared in the form of a great sage for revealing that the universe belongs to him because it is made by him through his Maya, and the universe is situated within him like a group of clouds situated in the empty sky. So this is one of the analogy just to say that okay, my dear Lord, you have appeared in this universe which is actually yours only, something like that. So they are recognizing the position of the Supreme Lord as the Lord of everything.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, miss.
Prabhuji, can you repeat the analogy? You said the sky, the clouds are situated within the sky.
वही है ना.
Yeah,
whatever
but
clouds,
then
whatever we see, they are
how
all
do you?
situated in the sky. The universe is also situated in the abdomen of the Supreme Lord. Two examples. That Vatapatrashayi, Markandeya entered into the abdomen of that Vatapatrashayi and saw the entire universe. And Mother Yashoda saw the entire universe within the abdomen of Lord Krishna.
So here you're comparing the sky to the Supreme Lord and the clouds to the universe.
Sky to be the abdomen of the Supreme Lord, not even complete Supreme Lord.
Okay.
So in that way. Srila Prabhupada writes, okay. The universal form of the Lord is the cosmic manifestation, which is an exhibition of the external energy of Supreme Lord. So in space, there are innumerable varieties of planets and also the air. And in the air, there are various colored clouds. And sometimes we see airplanes running from one place to other. Thus, the entire cosmic manifestation is full of variety. But actually, that variety is a manifestation of the external energy of the Supreme Lord. And that energy is situated in him. So like the Prabhupada says, in the sky, we see so many various things. Similarly, there is variety in the universe. So something like that. So later on at the end of the paragraph, Prabhupada writes, the manifestation of the energy of the Supreme Lord. Thus, because the energy is non-different from the Supreme Lord, the varieties are also factual. The material varieties may be temporary, but they are not false. They are a reflection of the spiritual varieties. So whatever variety we see in the material world, they are not false. Instead, they are simply temporary because they are reflection of the spiritual variety. So like that. So the next prayer. So this is the another prayer offered by the Devatas. So yam sthiti. Soyam sthiti व्यतिकरोपशमाय सृष्टान् सत्त्वे ननासुरगणान् अनुमेय तत्त्वा दृश्याददभ्रकरुणेन विलोकनेन यश्रीनिकेतममलं क्षिपतारविन्दम्.
Let the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is understood by truly authorized Vedic literature and who has created peace and prosperity to destroy all calamities of the created world, be kind enough to bestow his glance upon the demigods. His merciful glance can supersede the beauty of the spotless lotus flower, which is the home of goddesses of fortune.
Yeah. So now they are also talking about some more qualities and praying for the protection. Because the universe is Lord's, so we all belongs to you. So it is your responsibility to take care of us. So like that they are indicating. Sa ayam sthiti vyatikaropa shamaya srishtan satvena na suraganan anumeya tattva. They are saying that may that Lord known through the Vedas anumeya tattva, by taking shelter of the Vedas, Vedic literatures, we can understand the position of the Supreme Lord. There are no other means to understand the position of Supreme Lord. Either we have to take shelter of the Vedas or the teachers of the Vedas. So that may that Lord glance on us, the Devatas, who have been created with Sattvaguna. They are telling that the entire universe is your creation by your Maya, and we are also your creation by the Sattvaguna of Maya. In order that he destroy the disturbances in the order of the universe with his merciful eye, which derived the spotless lotus, the abode of Lakshmi. They are telling that though we have been your creation in the mode of goodness, but there are so many disturbances in the universe. So now you have appeared personally in this universe, so we become peaceful because we hope that you will remove all those obstacles in our path of service unto your lotus feet. So please take care of us so that we remain peaceful and we continue to serve your lotus feet. So with that intention, with that request, the Devatas are offering this prayer. So the Lord possesses a merciful, compassionate eye. Adabra karunena vilokanena. So this merciful, compassionate eye of the Lord derides the beauty of the spotless lotus, which is the abode of Mother Lakshmi. So in that way they are saying. Because
Right.
Lord's glance is more beautiful than that of a lotus where Lakshmi resides. So in that way.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, here the demigods are mentioning that there is in order to destroy the disturbance in order of the universe. So like, this is just means Sarga has completed and the Visarga has started. So means it is the universe is in the process of getting populated. So that time, what were the disturbances in the universe?
No, these are devatas, na? They are knowledgeable. There could be many disturbances. Even before the universe created only, there was a disturbance. Even when Brahma was performing tapasya, there were Madhu and Kaitaba, they stole the Vedas from Brahma and they were hidden in the Garbhodaka ocean. Then that time Lord Matsya appeared and fought with them, killed them and protected the Vedas. The disturbances are there from the very beginning. They will be there always. As long as the material universe is, the disturbance is always there.
Okay.
So now we are talking about Brahma had created and his sons were born. And then Swayambhu Manu was born. Swayambhu Manu had 5 children. They were married. Their children also married. And then in their grandchildren's place, Narayana Rishi is born. So it's like long time has passed.
Yeah, but I was trying to compare from the time we are. So that time I thought that everything was in Sattva Guna, so the disturbances must be very less. Or
Not like that. Disturbances are always there. It is like there is always competition for position and power, etc.
so
So there is always there.
the
But
initial people will be always there from even
ah,
from the beginning of the universe. Like
yes, 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 they were always there.
maybe those jivas who were having such nasty desires in the previous kalpa, they all appear in the beginning and they start their those activities. That is why
Ah,
there are disturbances.
obviously, obviously, it will be there.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Hmm. So they say that, may he glance on us with a merciful eye, which derides the spotless lotus, the beauty of the spotless lotus, which is the abode of Mother Lakshmi, in order to disturb the disturbances to the order of the universe. Because Devatas are responsible to maintain the universe, and whenever there is a disturbance, they'll take shelter of Lord Vishnu, who is responsible to maintain the universe. So here that Lord Vishnu appeared as Naranarayan Rishi. And all the activities of Narayan Rishi are explained later on in the Bhagavatam. I think in the 11th canto, chapter 4 or somewhere. Half of the chapter is dedicated to explain the activities of Narayan Rishi. So, and Narayan Rishi is performing all the austerities in the greater Himalayas. And that Narayan Rishi only we are worshipping as Lord Badrinath. So Narayana himself is by Lord Badrinath. So they are resided underneath a Badri tree and performing austerities for the welfare and for the well-being of the entire universe for the rest of existence. They are performing austerities on our behalf for our maintenance and happiness. So that is their glory. So this particular avatara is depiction of the opulence of Vairagya of the Supreme Lord. Jnana Vairagya Cheva Visena. So here Vairagya in the form of tapasya. This both Narayana and Rishis are actually performing tapasya, severe austerities in the greater Himalayas for the well-being of all of us. So that is their way of showing their concern for us. So in that way. So then the storyline continues. Evam Suraganaistatha Bhagavantau Abhistutau Labdhavalokereyatur Architau Gandhamadanam.
Maitreya said, O Vidura, thus the demigods worship with prayers the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appearing as the sage Naranarayana. The Lord glanced upon them with mercy and then departed for Gandhamadana hill.
Mm. So Gandhamadana hill is one section of the greater Himalayas, and that is where Lord Narayan Rishi are performing austerities since the beginning of the Karandeya Brahma, and they'll continue to perform these austerities till the end of the Karandeya Brahma for our well-being. So that is their service. Tau imau vai bhagavato harer amshao ihagato bhara bhara vyayaya chabuva krishnau yadukurudvaha.
That Naranarayana Rishi, who is a partial expansion of Krishna, has now appeared in the dynasties of Yadu and Kuru in the forms of Krishna and Arjuna respectively to mitigate the burden of the world. Hare Krishna.
So Tau imau vai bhagavato harer amshau ihagato para vyayaya cha bhuva krishnau yadu kurudvaha. These two portions of the Lord, the Supreme Lord Vishnu, who appeared as Naranarayan Rishi, have entered Krishna and Arjuna, the best of the Yadu and Kuru dynasties, for relieving the earth of its burden. So, of course, 10th canto pastimes, all of us must have heard many times in the occasion of Janmashtami. When Mother Earth was overburdened by all the Asuric kings, Mother Earth approached Brahma. Brahma thought that he cannot do anything. He approached Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva said, it is not the time for destruction. Then both of them, along with Mother Earth, approached Lord Vishnu. So that time, Lord Vishnu said that, okay, it's the time for my incarnation. I am going to appear in the Vishnu dynasty. May all of you also appear in Pandavas, appear as Pandavas and appear as Yadus, something like that. So that time, all the different devatas appeared in different dynasties, because the Supreme Lord is going to appear now as the son of Devaki and Vasudev. So even Naranara and Rishis who are performing austerities on the greater Himalayas, they also came down, and Narayan Rishi entered into Krishna and Nara entered into Arjuna. So that was the indication here. Nara and Narayana, who are the portions of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, at the end of Dwapara Yuga, have attained the forms of Krishna and Arjuna. The portions, Amshas, have entered their Amshis, Nara Narayana. Their Amshis, Krishna and Arjuna. Naranarayana, the expansions of Vishnu, entered Krishna and Arjuna at the end of the Dwapara Yuga. So this is the understanding. Of course, one purpose is it is the responsibility of Narayana Rishis to maintain, because Vishnu's responsibility is to maintain the universe whenever there are difficulties. So in order to maintain that, they have come down. Krishna comes down to perform pastimes, not to kill the demons. The demon killing responsibility lies with Vishnu only. So Vishnu also comes down, enters into the body of Krishna, and that Vishnu personality who is in the body of Krishna take care of the killing demons, and Krishna will take care of performing sweet pastimes. He is not interested in killing demons and all. He is only interested in reciprocating with devotees. And then another pastime in relation to Narnar and Rishi is in relation to Karna. In his previous birth, he was known as Dambodhava. A demon, out of great pride, performed severe austerities in order to beget a son. So he eventually had a son, the most powerful son. He named him as Dambodhava. Damba. So because the father performed austerities to get such kind of son, he was born, he was very happy. He is most powerful, most strong, and filled with lot of Damba. So he is called as Dambodhava. And then eventually he himself also performed severe austerities to become immortal, to please Lord Brahma. So eventually Lord Brahma appeared. So Brahma said, "My dear son, please ask what you want." He said, "I want to become immortal." Brahma said, "I am not immortal. How can I give you immortality?" Then he thought for a while. Then he puts a condition to Brahma. He says that, "So please give me the blessing with this following condition." The condition is that I want invincibility in any battle. If a person can stand fighting with me for 1 year, one complete year. Okay, sorry, not before that. I should get 1,000 unpenetrable, unbrokenable armors, 1,000 armors, and I can only be killed after the removal of these 1,000 armors. And in order to remove one armor, a person should be able to fight with me and stand undefeated for 1 full year. Only at the end of the full year, one can remove the armor, one armor from me. But if at all, if a person becomes successful in removing my armor, he should die immediately. So he thought that, so with this condition, only 1,000 people, when they fight with me one after the other, then only all my 1,000 armors will be defeated. By the time I can live a long life. So with that intention, he took that vow. Lord Brahma, what I can do, he already promised to give blessing. So he gave the blessing and he disappeared. So with that blessing, he became more and more arrogant, and he began to trouble all the devatas, sages, etc. etc. Then he became known as Sahasra Kavacha. Then all the devatas and sages came to Gandhamadana mountain and requested Lord Narayana Rishis to do something. My dear Lord, please do something, please help us. This fellow is troubling us a lot. So then Narayana Rishi made a plan in such a way that, so Narayana Rishi planned in such a way that Narayana said that first I will fight with me for 1 year. So in that 1 year, you perform tapasya. You continue to perform tapasya. You don't have to worry about the fight. So at the end of the 1 year, I will remove one armor from him, and accepting the condition of Lord Brahma, I will die. One has to die, na? That is the blessing of whoever removes the armor, that he should die. That is the blessing of Lord Brahma. He should die. Whether that person really dies or not, but because of the condition, he should die. So Narayana said that, okay, I'll do it. And when I die, whatever austerities you have performed for 1 year, with the exchange of that, you revive me and you continue to fight with him. And I will perform tapasya for the next 1 year. And when you die at the end, I will revive you with the exchange of the austerities. So like that, Narayana fought first, then Nara fought next. Narayana, Nara, Narayana, Nara, Narayana, Nara, Narayana, like that. Narayana fought for 500 times. Nara fought for 499 times. And one more time is still remaining. So the last kavacha is remained. Then this fellow understood that, Babre, this is like something, these two people are so powerful, I can't do anything. So he fled away from there and directly went to Lord Surya. And instead of telling what had happened, he initially asked for protection. Please give me protection, please give me protection. Surya asked, what happened? He said, no, whatever it happened, I'll tell you only if you give me protection. If you promise me protection, I'll tell you, otherwise, please. But Devatas cannot say no. If somebody comes on their own account for protection, they need to give protection. So if a powerful person supposed to give protection, that is a rule. So then Surya said, okay. Then revealed what all happened. Then Surya said, you are cheating me. What is this? You are put me in difficulty with the Lord. Then Narana and Rishi came there. So told Surya, so release him. We want to fight with him. The Surya said, my dear Lord, please forgive me for my ignorance. This fellow came and surrendered to me as an ignorant person. So I gave my assurance. So please spare him for now. So I will make sure that he will not cause harm hereafter. So then Narana Rishi said that, okay, no problem. But if you keep with him, if you keep him with you, he will become trouble to you only. So think twice before giving shelter to him. So with that words, Narana Rishi departed from there. And Surya is always in dual thoughts. Should he give protection to that demon or should he get rid of that demon? So in the meantime, one fine day, Kunti Maharani called for Surya. So when Surya went there, so Kunti said, so my dear Lord, I just chanted this mantra just to have your darshan. Please go back. So taking that as a plea, Surya said, no. Durvasa has told that whoever calls Devatas with this mantra, they should get a son. So you called me, you should actually get a son. So from other side, he was thinking that I should get rid of this person for all time to come. So Surya actually forced Kunti to accept a son. So who will be born with that one remaining kavacha. And by the way, since Kunti is also a gentle personality, devotee personality, Surya said this personality will have my Amsha also. So Karna is the twin personality. He is actually that Dambodbhava, also an Amsha of Surya. So we can see in Karna that split personality. Sometimes he behaves like a very generous person. Sometimes he becomes very arrogant to the extent that I will kill Krishna and Arjuna for the rest of eternity. My soul ambition is to kill both of them. That was told by Karna many times in the Mahabharata. Because in his previous life, he was continuously fighting with Narayana Rishi. That enmity is still there in his heart. So now he is kind of in the mood of taking revenge against Narayana Rishi. So in that way, he said many times in the Mahabharata, my aim of my life is to kill both Krishna and Arjuna.
Uses Kundal and Amtus and this armor also doing charity.
That is the portion of Surya. Surya is like a Sattvic person and that portion. But giving that charity is not for good. Oh, जो भी होता है, but that is not, that is, if you read Mahabharata clearly, you'll understand what kind of cunning personality is he. So that was the story of this Narayana Rishi. So they will, whatever they need, they will do.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, why Karna's charity was not good? Like it was in the mode of ignorance or something?
No. If you read Mahabharata properly, chapter by chapter, you'll understand. When Pandavas were in Vanavas, Karna says that I will go and defeat all the kings and make Duryodhana perform another Raja sacrifice which is more elaborate than that of our Yudhishthira Maharaj. He actually goes on defeating everyone unnecessarily, in spite of the elders told no, no, not required. Still he goes and causes so much havoc and defeats all the kings. And he comes back with a lot of wealth. And he says that now my friend Duryodhana will perform Raju sacrifice. Then Bhishma says that, my dear fool, understand that already the king who performed Raju sacrifice is still alive. You cannot do it. Only after his death, another person can do another Raju sacrifice. As long as he is alive, he is entitled for that entitled for that position. No one else. Then they performed another yajna known as Vaishnava yajna at that time. But Karna became so much insulted by Bhishma during that time. And Karna says that now I will make a vow that I will make sure that all the 5 Pandavas are killed. And then I will make sure that my friend Duryodhana will perform Raju sacrifice. Till then, he puts so many conditions. I will eat only once in a day or something like that. I will give charity to whomsoever early in the morning, whatever they ask. When I go to ocean, in order to offer my morning oblations, whoever may come and whatever they ask, I'll give that charity. So many other conditions, I don't remember all of them. So he has taken all those vows just to kill the 5 Pandavas, especially Arjuna. And if he kills Arjuna, it becomes evident that he can kill Yudhishthira also very easily. So just to kill Arjuna, he has taken that vow. So just to fulfill that vow, he has exchanged his kavach for the Shakti weapon. His Govind Prabhu explains many times in the classes that he understood that Arjuna already gone to heaven. He obtained all the weapons. He also obtained Lord Shiva's Pashupatasra. So in front of Pashupatasra, this kavach can't do anything. So Pashupatasra is such a weapon. In spite of destroying this kavach, he will not die. Because the original condition of the kavach is that if at all anybody destroys the kavach, the person is supposed to die. But it does not hold good with Pashupatasra. So actually all the sages indicate Arjuna to go to Tapasya to get this Pashupatasra. The main reason is to remove this kavach and remain alive. But Indra in between comes and takes away that kavach. So that time Karna says that you are taking my kavach. I can only give my kavach with one promise, that you give me a weapon using which I can kill Arjuna. So Karna already understood that with that Pashupatasra, Arjuna can remove my kavach and he can kill me even, and he can live alive. He can remain alive. But how can I revert this condition? Now this kavach is of no use for me. So I'll get a weapon by which Arjuna also can be killed. So something like that. So that was the reason. So you tell me what is the what kind of charity is that?
Yeah. I think it is even beyond tamasic, because it can be called tamasic only, no, Prabhuji? Like,
Don't worry, this is conditional charity, tamasic or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But see, that's kind of, this is selfish oriented charity. It is not a compassionate charity.
Okay, thank you so much.
So that was the whole thing. So Laghu Bhavatamrita also indicates that Dwaparante Karam Bhutau Ayato Krishna Falgunau. So Narayana and Rishi, both of them entered into the forms of Krishna and Arjuna in order to do the needful. So their pending activity is to kill to remove that last kavach and kill that Sahasra kavach. So they came down in order to do that, and they did it, and then they went back. That was the whole idea.
What do you mean by they entered into Krishna and Arjuna? What do you mean by they entered? Well, they are there.
Have you ever seen that they are Devata? They can be there and they can enter into somebody else also. They can't be at two places.
So what do you mean by they entered into Krishna and Arjuna?
Have you ever seen any person haunted by a ghost?
Yeah, but that time the ghost is taking over that person's body.
Now both of them are in harmony. Like here the condition is not like ghostly. So in that way.
As an opposite of ghostly.
Ghostly, the ghost torments, but here these people cooperates.
Okay.
So something like that. There are two souls, one body. In that way.
Only one soul can be, no, Babaji.
मल्टीपल सोल्स कैन लिव.
क्या बात है.
गोस्ट रह सकते तो दूसरा सोल नहीं रह सकते क्या? Okay.
Hare Krishna, just one query, Prabhuji. Like you mentioned that, see, all Pandavas, the Kunti's sons, are completely with the full good qualities, and which also come from some or one or other devata. And Karna also comes from the devata, that is Surya devata, and he's also son of Kunti. So why only he has such a bad qualities? Like why she is bestowed with first son only, जो भी चाहिए भी नहीं था उनको, and that too वो मिलने के बाद भी it is with he with the so many bad qualities and things like that. In
Because
Surya
he's a demon, na? He's a demon, so demon by nature will have bad qualities only.
नहीं, but सूर्यदेव was supposed to give her वरदान, right? So वरदान ऐसे थोड़ी ना देते हैं कि मतलब प्रॉब्लम सन दे के उसको वरदान थोड़ी बोल सकते.
सब बच्चा देना चाहिए.
वो नहीं चाहिए था, कुंती को बच्चा नहीं चाहिए था, सूर्यदेव को उनको छोड़ने का था. अभी हाँ, उनका काम हो गया, उनको छोड़, उनको है ना, you want to get rid of that person. No, she does not even want a child.
तो दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि शी उनको तो चाहिए भी नहीं था, फिर भी इन्होंने वरदान, अभी मैं आया हूँ तो वरदान देना पड़ेगा एज अ सन, इसलिए दिया. और फिर दिया तो वरदान कभी ऐसे थोड़ी होता है कि मतलब वो खराब सन दे के उसको वरदान बोलने का ऐसे थोड़ी ना होता है.
See, what can be done? The situation is like that, the destiny is like that. See, both the things, you see from both the points. Kunti, out of curiosity, unknowingly, childishly called Surya, and Surya utilized that opportunity to get rid of this person. So we may find fault with Surya. With this, Surya should not act like this. But he did not act pre-planned. It suddenly happened. He never thought that Kunti will call me. Kunti will call him. Somehow Kunti called him, and he took that opportunity and get rid of him.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course, it is not that it is all, we can say that he was kind of inspired by Paramatma from within the heart. That's why he did it. Otherwise, in general, Surya will not do like that.
Right.
Here he
Fast,
acted like that,
yeah.
being inspired by Paramatma, like that we can see.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, when you say Amsha, what does it mean?
We are
Krishna
also
had
Amsha.
sorry,
All of us,
Karna had the Amsha of Surya Dev and that demon also, you saying. That way I mean.
See, we were also said that Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana.
Yeah.
All of us are also Amsha of the Supreme Lord. So here Karna is a split personality or dual personality. So one person is Sahasra Kavach or Dambodhava. The soul of that person is there. Okay. Another person is an Amsha of Surya Dev, who is a good portion, good personality.
There's the soul of Surya Dev is there. You said Amsha of that person, demon
Amsha
is there.
Amsha of Surya Dev means an expansion of Surya Dev. Not the Surya Dev completely, but an expansion of Surya Dev is there in the.
Okay.
Like Arjuna is also an expansion of Indra. Okay. Indra is there in Svargaloka also. One of his expansion is there in Arjuna, and Arjuna is also an expansion of Nara Rishi. Nara, out of the Narayana Rishis, Nara entered into Arjuna.
So basically what you're saying, there are two souls. One is an expansion of that personality in the spiritual, like Devi Devatas, wahan se ek expansion hai. One is Narnarayan ka expansion hai. So Arjuna ka soul kya hai? As such, is Arjuna's soul is what then? As
such, Arjuna's soul is Nitya Parshad of Supreme Lord Krishna, Dwarkadish Krishna. He is there.
Okay.
So
that
Arjuna
is also there.
Three personalities, trio.
Okay.
Arjuna is there, Nara is there, and Indra is there.
So when you say expansion of Arjuna, then like we see here in Mahaprabhu's Leela, Ramanand Rai is Arjuna ka this thing expansion or something like that. So then Arjuna's soul's expansion means all these three will go, only Arjuna's expansion will go.
Arjuna only.
Only Arjuna's. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Arjuna is eternal friend of Dwarakadhish Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. He is a Nitya Parshada.
Nitya Parshada of Dwarakadhish Krishna.
Yeah.
Not Gokuloka Krishna, but Dwarakadhish Krishna.
Yeah.
So that was the pastime of Narayana Rishi, and we'll go ahead. So Daksha had 3 more daughters. 13 daughters were discussed. 13th daughter was Murti, and she gave birth to Narayana Rishi, and his related activities we discussed. Swabhimanas Chagner Atmajam Strin Ajijanat Pavakam Pavamanam Cha Suchim Cha Huta Bhojanam.
The predominating deity of fire begot in his wife Swaha 3 children named Pavaka, Pavamana, and Suchi, who exist by eating the oblations offered to the fire of sacrifice.
Swaha, the 14th daughter of Daksha, married Agni, who is the deity of fire, and he begot through her 3 children named Pavaka, Pavamana, and Suchi, who identified themselves with different fires and ate the oblations offered in the sacrifice. So we may say that Agni means Agni. There is only one Agni. It's not like that. There are many types of Agnis. So their names are given here. The main Agni is Agni, and his 3 sons Pavaka, Pavamana, and Suchi are also 3 other kinds of Agnis. So Swaha was Agni's wife. All 3 children who identified with fire ate the oblations of sacrifice. Swaha was one daughter of Daksha, mentioned in the verse 48. So next, Tebyo Tebyognaya Sambhavan Chatvarimshascha Panchasha Tavevaikona Panchashat Shakam Pitrupitamahai.
From those 3 sons, another 45 descendants were generated, who are also fire gods. The total number of fire gods is therefore 49, including the fathers and the grandfather.
So from them 45 more fire gods arose. That means Agni married Swaha, gave birth to 3 sons, and later on they married, and each son begot 15 sons. So 15 plus 15 plus 15, 45. 45 plus 3 fathers and 1 grandfather. Total 49. There are 49 types of fires which are being called and offered oblations in different variety of fire sacrifices. We may say that Agni having made different names. Each name indicates one of these many personalities. So in that way we need to understand. That's how there are 49 Agnis among the Devatas, we can say. Vaitanike karmani yennamabir brahmavadibhi agneya ishtayo yajne nirupyante agnayastute.
These 49 fire gods are the beneficiaries of the oblations offered in the Vedic sacrificial fire by impersonalist Brahmanas.
So these are the 49 persons with whose names the offerings related to Agni are performed by followers of the Vedas, Brahmavadibhi, in Vedic rites of sacrifices. So generally whenever any fire sacrifice is being performed, they call Agni with different names, requesting Agni to accept the oblations and take them to respective Devatas in whomsoever name they offer. Like Idam Idraya Swaha, Idam Nama, Idam Varunaya Swaha, Idam Nama, like that. By the name of these 49 Devatas, offerings are performed in Vedic actions of sacrifice. These are not the common fires, and thus there is no waste in having so many. So no need to worry about having 49 fires because there are different types of sacrifices. So different types of Agnis need to be invoked in those sacrifices. That was the whole idea.
Prabhuji, but here it mentions that Vedic sacrificial fire by impersonalist Brahmanas. Means if the personalist Brahmanas, they perform particular yagya, that time there is some another different kind of a fire other than this 49.
And no. Brahmavadi be Prabhupada translates impersonalist Brahmaras. So basically, Prabhupada is seeing that, okay, those performing yajnas are like karmis or jnanis, something like that. In context, Prabhupada is saying like that. Whatever it is, when somebody is performing yajna, they will call one of these 49 fires. So it is like that we have to see.
Okay. Thank you.
Agnishwata Barishada Saumya Pitara Ajapa Sagnayo Anagnayo Tesham Patni Dakshayani Swadha.
The Agnisattvas, the Brihidas, the Saumyas, and the Ajapyas are the Pitas. They are either Sagnika or Niragnika. The wife of all these Pitas is Swadha, who is daughter of King Daksha.
There are 4 kinds of Pitrus who are called with the names as Agnishwatas, Barishadas, Saumyas, and Ajapas. So all these 4 married Swadha, the 15th daughter of Daksha. And out of them, some of them receive sacrifice, oblations of sacrifice, and others do not. Something like that. Saumya means those who drink Somarasa. Saumya are those Pitrus who stay on the Pitruloka, which is there on the moon planet, and they are sustained by drinking Somarasa. And those who receive fire sacrifice are called Sagnaya, and those who do not receive fire sacrifice are called Anagnaya. Although some of the Pitrus are offered oblations in the fire sacrifice, some of them are not offered. Why they are offered, why the others are not offered, I don't know, but there could be some pastime about them. So here you can see one example that there are 4 men, Agnishwatas, Barishadas, Saumyas, and Ajapas, married one girl, Swadha. So in the history, we have such kind of examples of polyandry, one woman marrying many men. So here is one example, which is at the beginning of the creation, Swadha marrying the 4 Pitrus. So later on, Marisha, with the daughter of sage Kandu and Apsara Pramalocha, marrying the 10 Prachetas. The third example is Draupadi marrying the 5 Pandavas. So we don't see many examples in the history that one woman marrying many men. So 3 examples we can come across in the Bhagavatam. Otherwise, there are unlimited examples of many women married by one man. Polygamy is allowed in the Vedic culture, but not polyandry in general condition. So in that way. Tebhyo dadara kanya dve vayunam darinim swada ubete brahmavadinyau jnana vijnana parage.
Swada, who was offered to the Pitas, begot 2 daughters named Vayuna and Dharini, both of whom were impersonalists and were expert in transcendental and Vedic knowledge.
So after marrying the 4 Pitrus, Swada begot 2 daughters named Vayuna and Dharini, and they were expert in the Vedic literature. They are expert in knowledge and realization. Jnana Vijnana Parage. So they have obtained the knowledge of the Vedas and they have realized the essence of the Vedas. That's why they are called as Brahma Vadinyau. They are the followers and propounders of Brahmagyan, the knowledge of the Vedas. So in that way.
Person is Brahmavadi and impersonal. So who were impersonal?
See, generally, the Vedas promote Dharmartha Kama Moksha. We discussed many times. Moksha means Sajja Mukti. That is impersonal.
That is Brahmavadi.
The principal teachings of the Vedas are Dharmartha Kama for people in general. Those who go into details, Moksha. Only those people who go into more and more deeper, they get into Bhakti. So there's nothing wrong. Impersonalist not always Mayavadi. Impersonalist means Brahmavadi. Brahmavadi. It is bona fide. Brahmavadi. Bhavasya patni tu sati bhavam devam anuvrata atmana sadrisham putram nalebe guru gunashilata.
The 16th daughter, whose name was Sati, was the wife of Lord Shiva. She could not produce a child, though she was faithfully engaged in the service of her husband.
1946 में जीवन यात्रा फिल्म में चिड़िया बोले चूं चूं चूं, मगर ये पार्श्व गायन नहीं था क्योंकि ये गाना फिल्म में लता पर ही फिल्माया गया था।
हरे
प्रसन्न
कृष्णा।
देसाई ने तभी ये जान लिया था कि उस जमाने के अन्य गायिकाओं से लता की आवाज कितनी
Request the
ऊंची
devotees
है
to mute
और
yourself.
इस घड़ी का भविष्य उज्जवल है।
Pritisha Mataji, where are you? How many lectures you are hearing? So, the 16th daughter of Daksha Sati was the wife of Lord Shiva. Although always engaged in service of her husband, she did not produce a child with her good qualities. So, out of 16 daughters of Daksha, till now we have seen so many people from the very beginning. Akuti was married to Sage Rishi and she gave birth to Yajna and Dakshina. They married and they gave birth to children, Tushitas. And Devahuti married to Kardama, gave birth to 9 daughters, and they married and they gave birth to many children. And Prasuti married Daksha, gave birth to 16 daughters. Out of 16, 15 gave birth to very many children. But one daughter did not give birth to children. So this is like one what we can say, going against the regular system. Though she was engaged in service of her husband Lord Shiva, but she did not produce a child in spite of possessing all the good qualities. So it's like that. So what is the reason why she did not produce children? Pitari apariti rupe sve bhavayanaga serusha aprau daivatmanatmanam ajaha yoga samyuta.
The reason is that Sati's father Daksha used to rebuke Lord Shiva in spite of Shiva's faultlessness. Consequently, before attaining a mature age, Sati gave up her body by dint of yogic mystic power.
Yeah. Because of her father Daksha, who was unfavorable to Lord Shiva, by showing anger, though anger towards Lord Shiva, though Lord Shiva was faultless, she gave up her body through mystic trance before reaching maturity to beget children. So this was the reason Sati, the 16th daughter of Daksha, did not beget children. One is Shiva is faultless and Daksha unnecessarily became angry with Lord Shiva, and Sati, as a result of that, Sati had to give up her body, so she could not beget children. So that was the hard reason. This verse gives the reason for not producing a son. Her father was unfavorable to faultless Shiva by showing anger.
Hare
So,
Krishna, Prabhu.
yes, Mataji.
A small question. I know it is out of context, but I just wanted to clarify this point. Like Sati, Daksha had 16 daughters. Okay, none of them were called Diti, right?
None of them are called as
Diti, Aditi, we have who married Kashyapa, right? But when Diti wants to have a union with Kashyapa, okay, that time he says your brother-in-law Shiva will be roaming around here. Now, how can it be Shiva can be brother-in-law of Diti?
See, in this birth of Daksha, he had given birth to 16 daughters. And in the fourth canto, we'll see that Daksha will die later on. He will again be born as the son of 10 Prachetas.
Yeah.
Then eventually later on he married Akshini and he begot 60 daughters.
Yeah.
Out of 60, one was Diti. And she was given in marriage to
Kashyapa.
So in one sense, it is same Daksha. Initially he begot 16 daughters, later on he begot 60 daughters. That means all the 76 girls were his daughters only. They were all co-sisters.
Oh, that way. Such a long, after so many Manu mantras it is, isn't it?
So what? The same person.
Okay.
The same father, different children. So it's simple.
Okay. Okay.
So in that way. Okay. Any questions from any other devotees based on this chapter 1? So,
Yes, from the 59th verse, purport says that um, the portion of Narayana had appeared in the family of the Kurus, and that Narayana, the plenary expansion of Krishna, had come as Krishna. So Narayana, who is the plenary expansion of Krishna, had come as Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with the purpose of delivering suffering humanity.
mm,
So, um, so here it is said means Narayana is the expansion of Krishna. That way it is said. Now, Pooja, I got confused that whether
see, Krishna expands as Balram, Balramji expands as Narayana, Narayana expands as Naranaran Rishi.
yeah.
So now Krishna himself is coming down to perform his pastimes. That time Naranaran Rishis also entered into the form of Krishna. Their original sources. Krishna is coming to perform pastimes, and
Yeah.
Naranarana coming down to do his remaining pending activity and to
Okay.
maintain the universe, remove the burden of the universe.
Okay. So Naranarayana, the expansions of Narayana means from Narayana they come, not
Yeah.
from. Okay.
No. Krishna expands as Narayana, Narayana expands as Naranaran Rishi, and they are
Okay.
entering into Krishna. So it is
Okay.
like that.
I mean, they are entering back again into Krishna that way.
Yes. And
Okay.
after concluding all the pastimes, again these expansions go back to Badrikashram, and Krishna will go to Goloka. So like that. As long as Krishna was performing all these pastimes for those 125 years, they are all there in the form of Krishna, within the form of Krishna. Even the current Manvantara Avatara was there in the form of Krishna. Kshirodaksha Vishnu was also there in the form of Krishna. Yuga Avatara also, the Yuga Avatara for the Dwapara Yuga is also there in Krishna, in order to ease activity of spreading Yuga Dharma. It's like that. All will come in that one form.
Who was the Yuga avatar of Dwapar Yuga, Prabhuji?
Whoever, I don't know who was, but whoever was the Yuga Avatara, he also entered into the form of Krishna at that time.
Okay, so means they come to help Krishna. So all these personality, because they were expansions of Krishna, they entered into the Krishna, and after the Krishna concluded his pastimes, they again went back to their destinations, whatever they were doing earlier.
They went back to their respective places.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Correct. Okay, any other devotees? Okay.